ABC 7 is proudly celebrating Black History Month, which actually has its roots in Chicago.
Roz Varon joins us with a story about a historic building in Bronzeville where Black History Month began.
The story of the historic Wabash Y is actually three stories: a gateway for African American families during the Great Migration, a recognition of African American history, and a rebirth to preserve it. This modest building at 37th and Wabash has city, state, and national landmark status.
This building was one of the first people of color YMCAs in America. It was put together by Julius Rosenwald.
These folks from the YMCA asked JR if he would be willing to give $25,000 to build a YMCA for blacks in Chicago. If you were a black young man who was coming to Chicago to look for a job and you didn't have friends or relatives here, you couldn't go to a white hotel and there was no place for you to stay.
My father, in 1917, he immigrated to the United States to attend college at the Lewis Institute. He couldn't live on campus because of racial discrimination. He lived in this building.
From day one, this has been a place where people could come and socialize. It's always a place for everybody in the community.
The Wabash Y became an anchor in the African American community. Dr. Carter Woodson founded the Association for the Study of African American Life and History there in 1915. Woodson returned 9 years later and made an historic declaration.
Dr. Woodson declared the beginning of Negro History Week. By 1976, it becomes Black History Month. President Ford declares February Black History Month.
In the late 70s, the Y closed as people were moving out and the neighborhood was in decline. It was almost torn down.
So the clergy decided we really should save this building and convert it back to what its purpose was initially.
Right now, I think there are 101 rooms of housing for individuals coming out of homelessness.
The residential side also has job training. The historic side has monthly tours.
And we just walk through the building with images placed throughout to kind of set up the story of the founding and then the heyday of the YMCA.
This is the gym?
Yes. It was used for really any community event that they had. They couldn't fit in any other room.
The building itself is as significant as it is. Its real significance is demonstrated through the lives of the people that are being touched, the lives that are being changed.
You can take a deeper dive into the history of the Wabash Y on those tours, which take place on the second Saturday of each month. But they're having an extra one this month, Black History Month. Roz Varon, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Incredible.
There's just so much
rich
history in our city, and it's great to be able to see it over and over. And sometimes you've heard those stories, but sometimes you haven't. So you kind of pick something up new every time.
It's amazing.